actually is the lead play in our offense. We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access postgame show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. The Packers defeat the Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field 17-9.
Say it again! Say it again, Clayton!
We got some folks fired up in here, man. What a fun game to watch. Listen, you got to tip your cap. Matt LaFluer, hell of a game plan. Other than the Jordan Love fumble, this team played darn near perfect. It was just unbelievable. Jordan Love's stat line, he is him, as the kids say in the streets. 27 of 32, 316 yards, averaged 9.9 yards, and then had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, was only sacked 1 time, had a rating of 128.6. Man, just like I said, a fun one to watch. Still a little housekeeping, then we'll go around the horn here real quick. Josh Martin with the super chat. LaFluer is Coach of the Year, playoff bound. Appreciate you, Josh. Thank you for supporting the stream, man. I don't think there's any chance he wins Coach of the Year, but I don't know what the hell it's going to take for him to get it, seeing that Aaron being here was the reason he couldn't win it before. Now Aaron's gone. You make the playoffs the first year with the youngest team in the league. If I understood correctly, Steve Cook tagged me on Twitter and said that Jim Nantz said this is the youngest team in the history of the NFL to make the playoffs, if I understood correctly. So how in the world LaFleur doesn't win Coach of the Year after that is just beyond me. And I know there's some other candidates that's had a good year. I got you. But also Joyce in here doing what she does. She gifted 50 Packers Total Access memberships. Appreciate you, Joyce. Thank you so much for doing that. And I know the guys and gals appreciate you hooking them up for sure. So Josh Martin, thanks for the super chat. Joyce, thanks for supporting the stream. You guys are awesome. Let's go around the horn. Tim, you said that this Bears defense was going to be able to shut down our run, didn't you, in the pre-down joke? What do you think about that game?
I did.
Go ahead, Tim.
I did. I'm going to go ahead and self-brag, dude. I have never predicted a football game more accurately than I predicted this one. I am so proud of this team. I told you guys I didn't want to do a score prediction because I knew it was going to be one of these kind of games. We talked about that. We were all in agreement on that. 3 freaking field goals given up by this defense. You Joe Barry haters can kiss my ass. I'm saying it right now. I am so proud of this football team and the way that they came together and played. Unbelievable job by our boys in the trenches. Carl Brooks, Devontae Wyatt, Kenny Clark, playing like some monsters. TJ Slayton. I am so proud of this defense. I couldn't be more excited for all fit. Can we give away 53 footballs?
Yeah, man. No
Can we
doubt.
give away 53 game balls to these players? This was a team victory. I told you guys before the game, this was going to be won and lost in the trenches. We won this game in the trenches. I told you we should run the freaking football right at Chicago and their overrated run defense. I don't care. Aaron Jones had fresh legs, over 100 yards on the ground, propelling this offense. We had openings in the passing game. We took our shots. We hit a lot of shots today. We talked about it, right, Clayton?
Yeah, man.
Before the game.
The rookies. Dontavian Wicks, Jaden.
Yes.
That's wide receiver 1 and 2. I'm sorry. It is. We've said it for the last 6 weeks. PFF agrees. The tape agrees. The stat line agrees.
Bo Melton. Don't forget, as of late, Bo Melton's the man.
And here's what's crazy. Like Romeo Dobbs, people are going, what about Dobby? Dobby is like arguably a top 5 number 2 receiver in the league. You know what I mean? And I said that for that reason. Like, he is one of the best number 2 receivers. But when you throw into the mix Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks on that little, whatever it was, a smoke route or whatever, and he just sidestepped like it was – I was just like, this kid, he looks like a damn 8-year vet, man. It's unbelievable. Ryan Jennings with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, love the way 10 calls audibles at the line. Super cool, calm, and collected. The third quarter touchdown pass was the chef's kiss. Yeah. Everything off the back foot. It was just you're spot on there, Ryan. Pack her up. Thank you for the donation there, buddy. He said, I ain't got to say nothing. Here's $1.99. Appreciate you, buddy. Jacob, initial thoughts, man. We'll go around. We'll look at the stat line. I'm trying to keep an eye on the press conferences too because, man, I want to punch the screen. I'm like, nobody. We said it from training camp. Nobody gave this team a chance. No one. And you've seen the valleys and the peaks and the valleys and the peaks. And when the freaking season on the line, LaFluer coached his ass off. Jordan Love had arguably his best game of the year. The defense had arguably their best game of the year. Everything just came together. You're peaking at the right time. But, Jacob, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, dude, honestly, what more can you say? Like you just said, Aaron Jones, 22 for 111, 5 averaging. Jaden Reed, 4 for 112, averaging 28 per catch. Bo Melton, my man, Bo Melton, 5 for 62. Dontavian Wicks, 6 for 61, 2 touchdowns, sir. And I would argue that Jaden Reed or whoever, was it Jaden Reed? He caught that touchdown pass, man. I don't care whoever says that. They caught that touchdown pass. And then I'm looking at
Bo Melton, wasn't it? Bo Melton, I believe.
Was it Bo? Okay.
I think so.
Quay Walker, like me and Tim have talked about, Quay Walker came to play today. He had 9 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. I can't. I'm going to have to probably hop off the stream a little bit later, but
you ain't going nowhere.
Shush your mouth. Yeah, this is the team. This is exactly the type of game that we needed to get catapulted into the playoffs. Everybody's coming to play. And guess what? The Bears, that was not a pushover. That's a good Bears team. That's a good Bears team.
I agree.
And Justin Fields did make some passes where I was like, damn, that's a quarterback. That is a quarterback right there. I'm not going to lie. We didn't just win over a crappy Bears team. We beat a good Bears team. And honestly, right now, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm sitting here honestly thinking, like, what do I do? Do we keep Fields? Do we draft Caleb? Do we draft Drake? What do we do? Do we trade him away? In my opinion, Justin Fields put up a performance tonight where I'd be like,
on a stretch where
let's go.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was just getting it keyed up here.
No, let's go. Let's go live.
All right, here we go. Here's Jordan Love, QB1 at the podium.
No one blinked. No one was crying about losing. We found ways to get better.
Yeah.
And obviously I think the main thing was we just had to find ways to win those close games. And that's what we've been able to do. Obviously we had one tonight. So I think that's the mentality, just finding ways to win because we know it's not going to be easy.
Jordan, is there a moment that the game felt like it slowed down for you at some point this season?
I can't put it in particular on what moment, but I think just every game I go out there, the game slowed down a little bit more. I'm seeing things a lot better. I'm just having a better feel of where I need to go with the ball and getting a better rhythm with just playing quarterback in the pocket. So there's not one game in particular, but, I think every game, I've been getting better and the whole team around me has been getting better as well.
You were 27 out of 32 today. What allows you to play at that high of a level, considering the stakes, considering the defense that you played today has been on a pretty good roll?
Yeah, just finding ways to pick them apart and take advantage of what they're doing. Finding completions, which is something that I've had to improve on throughout the course of the season, is just taking what the defense is giving me, getting the ball in my hand quick, not holding on to it, and finding those completions where get the ball in the guy's hands and let them make some positive plays. So, it's just completion. I don't even know what the word is, but just combination of everything I've learned throughout the season, I think, to put me in this position, and then obviously everyone else around me.
Love it. All right. So you guys can obviously go check that out. We'll leave it up here, and we may go back to it in a minute. Let me know if anything's choppy there in the chat, guys. We'll keep it rolling. That way we can catch LaFluer here in a second, too. If you guys would take just a quick second, hit that like button for us so other Packer fans can find this content, find this channel. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Mike Hebring, thank you for the super chat. He said, should have done all of this a year earlier. Go Pack, go, meaning moving on to Love. I think few people would disagree with that, Mike. I think that's a pretty fair assessment if that's what you're referring to is going to Love and making that shift earlier. And if that is the case, then you got to give Goody a little bit credit. Those who have hated on Goody, you got to give him credit for trying to make it work with Aaron as long as he did, and then pulling the trigger and having the huevos to move forward. But thank you for the super chat, Mike. We appreciate you, buddy. Packer up with another super chat. Said my UK boy Valentine with maybe the play of the game with that end zone stop on Cole Kmet. Yeah, Valentine, man, it doesn't look like it's too big for him. Does he play perfect? No. He plays like a seventh rounder from time to time. If he picks that ball off in the end zone, boys, I'm coming unglued. You might see a Valentine jersey back here on the wall. I'm just telling you. And he knew the opportunity went through his hands. It's just another example of like you win the game, right? Hello, you play. Now you go out and you win the game, and you still left plays on the field. It just shows you we're still not playing at that maximum level yet, and they're winning these big ball games in huge moments. It's phenomenal, man. Jordan, you could tell the moment's not too big for him. Look at his arm, too. Did you notice his arm, boys?
Yeah, he's got that suction cup on it.
Had some kind of treatment done to his shoulder. Had those suction cups on his shoulder, on his throwing arm. This team's going to play for him, man. They're going to play for him. There's no two ways about it. Love that guy. Let's see what else we got here real quick. And again, Packer up. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Let's go to the box score real quick, and then we'll come back to the podium and see what else Jordan had to say. When we hit the box score offensively, we held Justin Fields to 11 of 16 for 148. No touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked him 5 times. Guys, we talked about going into this. Tim, you remember we talked about the overall defense by year? The yardage, the passing yards, the sack numbers, the rushing yards. You ended up.
Oh, you mean how the defense has improved every year?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Khalil Herbert, 12 carries for 28 yards, 2.3 a pop. You held Justin Fields to 8 carries for 27 yards, 3.4 a pop. The long for Fields was 7 there in the rushing game. Obviously, Roschon Johnson, 5 carries for 20 yards. So overall, 25 carries for 75 yards. They only averaged 3 yards a carry against the Packers defense. So when we go back and look at those year-to-year defensive stats, you're going to see that this was the best year under the Joe Barry tenure. And I'm going to tell you,
you don't have to convince me.
Before I came up here, Mandy said, will you do me one favor on the show? What? She said, once you get hashtag save Joe Barry cranking, I went, oh, God, you're trying to get me killed on Twitter tonight. So, DJ Moore, their number one, 4 catches for 64 yards. Cole Kmet, 3 catches for 41 yards. Khalil Herbert, 2 catches for 13 yards out of the backfield. They shut them down, boys. They shut them down. They shut them down. They shut the Vikings down. We beat Patrick Mahomes at Lambeau this year. We beat, at the time, an MVP candidate in Jared Goff on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know what else you want. I'm just saying, listen, did we give up 30 points? Absolutely, we gave up 30 points, and it sucked, right? When we talk about past performances here recently with the defense. Tell you who else gave up 34 points? The New York Jets. They gave up 34 points. They gave up. They lost. I've said it all year long, too. People are like, oh, we need Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh got outscored by Miami 64-13 this year. Yeah. Then he turned around and gave up 34 points to the Cleveland Browns. And we're just sitting here, basically holding the Vikings to 10 points, holding the big bad Bears to 9 points. We showed you they played their best 2 offensive games of the season, the last 2 games. They come in and they hit a Joe Barry buzzsaw. It sounds so funny saying it out loud, but damn, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm just telling you right now. On the offensive side of the ball, Jordan Love, again, 27-32, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, rating of 123.6. Aaron Jones, 22 carries, 111 yards rushing, average 5 yards a pop. Bo Melton got 2 reverses, 2 carries for 14 yards, average 7 yards a carry. Jaden Reed, 4 catches for 112 yards. Somebody asked me how many targets he got.
It's 4, Clayton. It's 4.
He was targeted 4 times, caught all 4 passes, and averaged 28 yards a catch. Bo Melton, 5 catches, 62 yards. Dontavian Wicks, 6 catches, 61 yards. He only had 7 targets, and he had 2 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft fell short, obviously, of the record. So did Luke Musgrave, but 3 catches for 31 yards. Guess what? Everybody who said that, you're gonna jinx him. You said he didn't have a drop all year. He had 3 targets, 3 catches. Still hasn't had a drop all year long. Tucker Kraft. That's tight end 1. Luke Musgrave got a little bit of time there. Obviously, 1 catch for 11 yards. Aaron Jones caught 5 passes out of the backfield for 30. Phenomenal stuff. You
that
guys
was
know,
a huge catch, though. That 1 catch that Musgrave had, that was a crucial grab.
oh, it was big, very
Yeah.
big. Really big. Kept the clock running, allowed us to move the chains 1 play later, right? Just everybody playing in tandem there down the stretch on that last one. Jaden Reed, 3rd down conversion. Aaron Jones, 1st down run. Tucker Kraft, 1st down. So it was a 1st down, yeah.
Malik Heath, can we talk about? Hey, it's not going to show up real big on the stat line. Malik Heath maybe won this game for us in that situation. Dude was hardcore, and he did what Malik Heath does. He don't give no Fs, dude. He's ready to go.
When Rome went down, I said to my wife, I said, Malik Heath is going to step up into this role. And that's exactly what we got. We called it, boys. This team won tonight as a team. What a great performance. And yeah, not to go on a negative note, but clearly the moment was a little big for Anders Carlson at times tonight. And he looked a little shaky there with the leg. But this team picked it up and did what we needed to do and made sure that we didn't have to put this game on him at all. We went out there and got it done, man. Kudos.
I'll say this about that missed field goal, though. You take that crucial sack to play before. That's the 2nd time this season in the second half of the season where you took a sack and made the field goal even more difficult. It pushed it back 8 yards. He ended up missing it. It looked like a bad snap initially. I need to go back and look at it, but I felt like it was a low snap. It wasn't okay. I was sitting there going, I don't know if I had too many daddy sodas and imagined that or what, but it looked like it was
a good hold, though. It's a good hold.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great hold. It was a bad snap. He had to put it down, and Anders honestly did a good kick. And that was barely. Didn't it bounce off the upright, if I'm not mistaken?
He missed crap out of it.
But Daniel Whelan, dude. Daniel Whelan, hey, they nailed it, man. They nailed it picking him up. I'm going to have to go back to training camp when they cut whatever his name, Pat O'Donnell. And y'all listen to my reaction because I was like, what the hell are we doing? What, we're going to trust a rookie punter? This dude is better than Pat O'Donnell. Like, it's unbelievable.
He's Irish.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, Jacob. So, Seti, thank you for the super chat. Said all the guys running up the love to celebrate after the kneel down. Love to see the love for love. Go, Pack, go. Appreciate you, Seti. Thank you for the super chat, man. Let's see. Destiny Jenkins. Hey, how about this? How about them boys? 4 touchdowns for my boy Dak. This is a little lady that me and my wife used to babysit. Des is Mandy's little cousin. And I remember her when she was, as we say back home, when she was still crap and yellow. That's awesome that she's in there. Huge Cowboys fan. So, Destiny, I appreciate the $1.99, but you ain't going to get us to praise the Cowboys for any amount of money. All right. So, you take that crap out of here. Nah, Dak is, listen, Dak's the man, dude. Dak is, it's going to be close between him and Lamar with MVP. But,
yeah. Hey, hold on. Wait. Can we just acknowledge the fact that I'm pretty sure Jordan Love is either 2 or 3 in touchdown passes for the NFL total right now, right?
Yeah, he's got to be. Now, Dak throwing 4 tutters, obviously, he's still leading, I'm sure.
Because Jordan Love is at least 2 or 3.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy. Guys, think about that. Think about that.
Hey, can we put our daddy sodas up to Tom Clements, please, real quick, one time?
Salute
to the quarterback whisperer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know what that dude's doing, but he knows what the heck he's doing with quarterbacks. I didn't realize he worked with Favre there a couple years too. If you guys remember when Mike McCarthy got the head coaching job, Favre was coming off one of his worst years. Remember, he threw I think a career high interceptions, and then all of a sudden it just turned right around. Tom Clements, right? But Destiny, thank you for the super chat there, little lady. Appreciate you. And watch the language in here, okay? Just let's see what else we got. Godsmack AR69, appreciate the super chat, buddy. He said playoffs. I believe, we are heading to the playoffs, as a matter of fact. And if you don't believe me, just ask Jim Mora. He'll confirm it for you.
Jim Mora,
got him in here. He's hanging out in here somewhere usually.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game, another game.
That's right. Bury that one, boys.
I'm just glad that we didn't go to Sean Clifford. like so many were saying. Could you imagine the mess this team would be in right now if you had said, all right, let's see what Sean's got. Man, another franchise quarterback. The more time goes by, I feel more and more comfortable with saying that, which is just wild to me. But yeah, Godsmack AR69, appreciate the super chat, buddy. Let's see here. Ryan Jennings says, thoughts on the kicker situation. Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. He's a rookie kicker, obviously. You're going to have ups and downs. The last time we checked, he was top 10 in field goal percentage. So I imagine he's still somewhere in that top 10. So I like him. I think he's only going to get better. Someone I think it was Michael Lombardi pointed out that, some of these really good kickers across the league, and he had a handful of names that he specifically mentioned, people were ready to give up on them when they were struggling their rookie and their sophomore season. They ended up being some of the best kickers in the league. You end up cutting a player. He mentioned one specifically. I can't remember if it might have been Daniel Carlson. It might have been Jake Elliott. I can't remember which kicker it was, but they went on to be like a top 3 kicker in the league for a 5-year stint after a team cut them his rookie year. It was something crazy like that. So you got to give them room to grow. You got to give Rich Bisaccia some credit on the kicker side. We give him a lot of flack that the special teams hasn't been as good as we would expect it to be here going into year 2. But there's no more botched snaps, right? There's no more botched punts, no more blocked punts, very few blocked kicks. Like, that's all we were asking for. That stuff's gotten cleaned up. And Daniel Whelan, man, is just, like I said, I can't say enough about. I can't believe I'm sitting here on a post-game show after we make the playoffs talking about a punter. But that dude has just impressed the heck out of me all year long, man. So, Ryan, to answer your question, buddy, thank you for the super chat. I think Anders is a good kicker. I think he's the kicker of the future, man. That's what I think. I don't know. How do you feel, Tim? Are you still sold on Anders? I know you mentioned he's a little shaky tonight, obviously missed the kick, but then got one when we needed it, right, to extend it back out to an 8-point lead, if I remember correctly. But what do you think?
I mean, Mike Hebron made a comment in the chat a few minutes ago about maybe, he would thrive off a little competition. He had no competition at camp last year, and maybe bringing someone else in this summer is not a bad idea, just to kind of light a fire under him. But I do believe he is the guy. I think, like I said, I think the moment got a little big for him at times tonight, and that's all. He's a rookie kicker. Hopefully he's got it out of his system, and we can go forward. He can bank some important ones for us here in the playoffs. So got a lot of faith in Anders. I think he just needs time to develop. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Jacob? Are you still good with Anders, or how do you feel about that situation?
Man, I don't know how to think about him, honestly.
You don't care about anything other than his dub right now, right?
I don't, but honestly, what I want to talk about, look at Finesse. Got another freaking sack. This guy.
People are down on him. They're like, oh, he's a bust. I'm about to say a bad word. BS, man. Dude, you see him. It's not too big for him, man. It's not.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm really, honestly, look at Carl Brooks, please, sir. Let's look at what this dude did. He had we going live? Let's go live.
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying there. You're good.
Carl Brooks is the man. Vanessa is the man. We had a great draft. Let's go live.
Bro, Carl Brooks, we were talking about all training camp, remember? It was just like every day somebody was mentioning Carl Brooks' name.
Dude, every time that guy made a play today, I was like, Jacob! Jacob!
Let's go to Coach LaFluer real quick, see what he's saying.
And then maybe something goes wrong in a game. But there were so many moments throughout the course of the year where that left me optimistic that we could fight through this thing. And it was just about a matter of time. I think there is a learning curve when you have, and it's never an excuse when you have young players. It is what it is. But there is a learning curve for those guys, and the more they play, typically the better you get. And across the board, I think our staff's done a great job of staying together. I think it always starts there in terms of nobody was pointing fingers. Just, they came with the right mindset of trying to get their position group to get better and for them to continue to push them to get better. And but it's a credit to the guys in the locker room, and just in terms of those guys are battling for each other. I think it was pretty clear tonight, just the effort that was out there. Like I said, that was a playoff type game right there.
The sequence at the end of the half, the sequence at the end of the half, Was there one? Do you think there was one mistake that was bigger or more important than the rest?
There was a lot of mistakes at the end of the half.
It sure was.
To come away with no points or an opportunity with no points, certainly, we were in what we call an O-zone situation where the ball has to go out of bounds or to the end zone. I know Tuck wishes he would have got out of bounds a couple plays before where we burned a timeout. But certainly, Stevenson did a great job there. He was playing a cloud corner. He was off, 8-9 yards, and he just drove on the ball. And that's something that we coach our guys to do all the time is to, when a receiver's going out of bounds, to knock them backwards. Your forward progress is stopped. The clock continues to run. And that's something that I think Jordan's he's going to learn from. I think that was, I think there was 2 plays out of however many plays we had on offense that he would like to have back. But I think all in all, he had a hell of a night.
Guys like Bo Melton calculate this entire season just the way, guys out of nowhere, and then there's Bo Melton, what he did today.
Yeah, Bo had a bunch more plays, and there was, the one in the end zone. I don't know. I couldn't tell. You guys would know better than I would whether or not that was a touchdown. But
he's such a smart.
They didn't call it that way, but it's been pretty cool just to see a guy like that probably most of you have never really heard of. To see him get an opportunity.
Oh, we know Bo over here.
At a high
Rutgers,
level.
bro.
He continues to do it. And I think, again, it goes back to his approach, his work ethic, his mentality, attitude, all of that. The guy just works and gets better.
Your defense held the Bears to under 200 yards, got to Fields 5 times. Just what was it like seeing Joe Barry getting all fired up and just how they played tonight for you guys?
Yeah, I thought our defense was outstanding. Anytime you hold anybody under 10 points, you better find a way to win that football game. So
somebody ask him.
Outstanding effort by our defense. I know he's taken a lot of criticism. We all have. But he's a tough-minded guy that continues to show up and
Who is
put
coach?
in the work. And, our guys were battling out there tonight. I thought the effort was outstanding.
What do the grounds
All right.
people tell you about?
We got a bunch of super chats. We're getting backed up here, but that's Coach LaFluer at the podium. We may go back to him here in a minute. He'll be around. We'll get him on. We'll get him on live too here in a minute.
Love it.
I know someone donated these just to try to get my redneck self to try to pronounce this. Jacob, I'm going to let you do it. How do you say that name right there?
Asushnev.
Asushnev. Is that right? Yeah. Sounds like me trying to say Ashley when I'm drunk. Anyway, they gifted 10 Packers Total Access memberships. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you for supporting the channel. That's awesome. United Bates with the super chat says, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody. Go back, go. I love it, man.
Oh, old school. I love it. I love it, Bates.
Old school.
Everybody, go streaking.
I love
there's more behind me.
This is my favorite. Thank you, United Base. Thank you for the super chat. This is my favorite. Packer Up says, you think KFC is still open? You love to see it. Jordan Taylor with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jordan. We appreciate it. Said Romo was highly complimentary of Don Wicks's route running, which we've heard from the Packers staff as well. Thank goodness he fell to us in the 5th. I've heard he could have been a 2nd to 3rd rounder if he came out a year earlier. Yeah, it's just all the way across the board, Jordan. I got hot on Dontavian Wicks when I heard Greg Cosell talking about him. And Greg Cosell just raved over him. And I know you guys get tired of hearing me say it, but it's just another example of Greg Cosell, as Ross Tucker refers to him as the civilian GOAT, is just like he's unbelievable at catching these things. But I'll never forget, he said, this kid, Dontavian Wicks, he gets it. He just gets it. Yeah. And you see it. It's just like, there's no wasted motion when the ball's caught. He's already looking upfield. He's already, preparing for contact, but not in a way of being skittish, but to make people miss. His route running is unbelievable. Did you guys see that out route where he just took?
Can I interject here quick?
Yeah.
So Dontavian Wicks, like you said, they were like, oh, his route running isn't that great. He doesn't care about football. Once he thought he may be drafted in the NBA. And after he learned that he would not, he was like, okay, I guess I have to be the NFL. He is like he legitimately, after that, he kind of snapped into like, I gotta go hard on learning how to route run. And that's where you've seen the comparisons for the Devontae Adams type stuff. And that's what we're seeing here, guys. He's really that good. He is precise. He's precise.
Jacob, people will hear that and go, are you really comparing a rookie
Yes,
to
I am. Yes, I
Devontae
am.
Adams? Listen, show me Devontae Adams' rookie tape and compare it to Dontavian Wicks. That doesn't mean that he's going to have the same career as Devontae Adams. All it means is he is light years ahead of Devontae Adams when you compare their rookie seasons. Like, Devontae Adams is a good route runner coming out of college. I think Dontavian Wicks is a better route runner. I think he's got better hands. I'm talking about their first year, not the Devontae Adams that's worked his tail off and got to be arguably the best wide receiver in the game. They're not on the same level right now. But when you compare their 2 rookie years, it's just the floor is much lower, I believe, on Dontavian Wicks. We just got to see where's the ceiling hit. And if he gets more opportunities, I think you're going to find that he's a real deal. He's a true number 1 wide receiver. You know, Tim, I was saying that earlier in the year, and we get through, and I go, man, maybe I'm too far in on Dontavian Wicks. Bro, he's him, dude. And Jaden Reed,
telling you that. From camp. I was telling you that from camp. I'm like, nope, you're right. You're right. This guy's cooking. Because we kept saying that. Like, I could hear people in the stands too, like at Rainitzky Field. I'll never forget it. Who's this 13? I'm like, that's Tay Wicks, man.
That's not Adam Lazard, baby.
He go, who's that guy? I go, the world's gonna know. Everyone will know soon enough. And yeah, man, he is a surgeon out there with the routes. Like, I mean, you see him dump guys off of the first move and then have to stutter the rest of his route just to make sure everything's on time because he's just roasting guys so much. And it's refreshing. You know, we could go on and on. Jaden Reed as well is another, just an absolute specimen when it comes to a receiver. And, rookie or not, I don't care. You can compare these guys to borderline elite level receivers already with the way that they're playing this game. And, there's nowhere to go but up. Don't forget that about this team. We are young for a reason. Strategically, we went with the youth movement. Goody and LaFleur have steered into this fully. Let the kids play. We said it all off season. Let the kids play. And this is what we get. So nothing but up from here, honestly, guys. I'm really pleased with both Tay Wicks and Jaden Reed as rookies, man. Just phenomenal. Like you said, Clayton, the bar is just higher as a rookie.
It seems like
it's crazy. Yeah.
What'd you say, Jacob?
I was just gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, we are the youngest team to ever make the playoffs.
That's correct. That's what Jim Nance said. Yeah.
History, sir.
How long they been playing this game, boys? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, right?
A little over 100 years.
Yeah, just a touch over 100 years. But Jordan, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. That was a very generous thing, and we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And if it's a lady, I know Jordan, is a name. I apologize, but thank you for the super chat. Josh Martin with the super chat says, really hope the Bears keep Fields as quarterback. I really do enjoy those 2 guaranteed wins every year. There you go. Very well said. Again, I've seen improvement. Like tonight, I thought he played pretty well considering the defense was just all over him. I mean, 5 sacks. He's there. He's really, you could tell he's trying to play quarterback. He's not just trying to run around back there and be just a mobile quarterback. But tonight, man, this defense, I can't wait to go watch the tape, man. Chalk Talk's going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Josh Martin, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate it. And again, Jordan, thank you so much. Like I said, that was a very, very generous donation. Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. He said, thank the good Lord above that Seattle was dumb enough to cut ties with Bo Melton. Look who's in the playoffs and who isn't. I didn't even realize that. So he came from Seattle. That's wild. That's that John Schneider connection, right? You see these GMs that have worked together, been in the same building. When they cut someone loose, typically the other GM will go grab them up because it's like they fit our mold perfect. Bo Melton, man.
Bo Melton playing like a guy who took that personal.
Did you hear Tony? was it Tony Romo or Jim Nance said, look at Bo Melton, number 80, looking like Donald Driver out there carrying.
Yes. And he said he has a 4.3 speed, dude. 4.3 speed. Like,
sound like
great
me.
hands. Did you see that one he came up and snatched out of the sky?
Oh yeah,
that was incredible.
He earned that ball. He earned that
dude.
ball.
Yeah. And another guy that can run a route. You know, like we're talking about Wicks and Reed here, and Dobby and some of the boys. Like, man, we've got route runners, we got speed, we got hands,
we got everything, man.
Lots to build on here offensively, man.
We got a team, bro. I'm telling you, we got a team. All right,
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed. Peace out. Go Pack, go, everybody.
See you, Jacob. Get you some rest, old man. We appreciate you. All right, so that's Jacob from the Packernet Fantasy Podcast. Appreciate you, buddy. Godsmack AR69, like I said, appreciate you with the super chat, bub. Yeah, Bo Melton, big pickup. Just Goody, you got to give Goody. I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, they give away an Executive of the Year award. I've been critical of Goody. You guys know this. I point out when he does things good. I point out when I disagree with things like the Rasul trade. But when you look up and you've got the youngest roster in the league and they're playoff bound with a first-year starting quarterback that you caught absolute hell for drafting, it's got to be mentioned in the conversation, right, Tim? I mean, you've got
That's
to.
right.
So,
absolutely.
check this out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Let's go. What do we got?
It's just a quick video. Jordan Love coming off the field. Look at the fans here. You can see this, right, Tim?
Yep.
All right, here we go. No sound, but check it out. You think this team loves him? You think this city loves him, man?
Hell yeah.
Check it out. I gave it to the little
my
fella.
Quarterback, man. It's my quarterback.
That's QB1 right there. You love to see it, man. I tell you what, Drew, how blessed are we?
Number 10. Hey, the 10th victory against the Bears for Matt LaFleur comes from J Money. Number 10, because he only throws dimes.
Check this out. Aaron Jones.
Yeah, buddy. Told you.
And there was people wanting him traded this offseason, man.
Idiots.
It's crazy. Idiots, he says. They were like, now's the time to cut ties with Aaron Jones. It's like, man, this guy took a pay cut.
Hey, this is what you want to see, right? Like, biggest game of the year, biggest game of a lot of these guys' careers, of their lives. Hey, there's one veteran on that offense. Let's lean on Aaron Jones today, right? I guarantee you that at some point this week, he probably said that to the boys. He said, hey, I'm ready. Put it on my back. You guys ride off of me here, and let's go win us a ball game. And Jones did not disappoint today, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like vintage Aaron Jones once again. It was beautiful thing to see.
He really did, man. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball real quick. Well, first of all, Mike Hebring says Matt LaFleur owns the Bears. Yes, he does. Roger Davis says, please keep 33. Completely agree with that. John Walker says love is all you need. Yeah, everybody's coming in now. We better keep 33. Joyce with the dub. Of course, Joyce always in here winning, man. She's always coming up clutch for sure. Let's see. People wanted everyone traded or cut at some point. Ha, 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 ha. It's so true, Chad. And we're in here like week in and week out going, come on, can we all calm down here for just a second? Let's take a full season and see what we have. That's all. Let's just see what we got before we start, you know what I mean? Putting people in the unemployment line. Yeah, so glad they gave Love the entire season, because I'm telling you, man, when things were shaky, they were bad, Tim. He played bad that first half of the season. And imagine if they had, I keep saying, I'm not trying to be negative. We got to put this into perspective. We got to remember this stuff. Imagine if they had moved on from Love. So, okay, he's not the guy. We got him next year. We got us a solid backup. Let's see what Clifford's got. Let's go get another quarterback. Imagine if it had played out that way. And someone else, and I remember us specifically saying this when people were saying Love's not the guy. You got to get Clifford. You got to give Clifford a shot. I said, how are you going to feel if you move on from Love and let's say you cut him or you trade him next year and he goes out and turns into a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback? You're going to be like, we had the guy right there. It's just, it's so.
I'm a day one believer though, so I don't know what that feels like. I'm welcoming everyone else to the Love train again, like I've been saying all year. There's never been a doubt in my mind, and it's just great to see this all kind of come into fruition here. Look at Ramage. Look at this shot.
This right
I love
here,
it.
This is epic. I'm gonna have to send Ramage a paycheck here.
You can see those little semi-frozen Bears tears dripping down his buddy's face there.
Tell me this picture right here doesn't go hard, y'all. Matt Ramage, for those of you on the pod, holding up a tall boy. He's got a stovepipe in his hand. There's a Bears fan staring at the ground. He looks devastated. And you got just the fog of Lambeau Field lifted over Lambeau Field, right? You can just tell the steam. It's so cold there. And he just said one simple phrase, #Bears still suck. It's just absolutely awesome. There's several receipts I got to pull from this past week, man. I got hounded by Bears fans, and they'll be hearing from me tomorrow morning for sure. So, but love Matt Ramage, man, always holding it down. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, Tim. I know you're as excited about this as I am, man. The defense absolutely balled out. Quay Walker, 9 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss. So 2 weeks in a row, if I remember correctly, Quay Walker has gotten a sack, had a quarterback hit. Devondre Campbell looked like he didn't look 100% healthy, but he's looking closer to Devondre Campbell of old. 8 tackles, 4 solo, had 1 tackle for a loss as well. Jonathan Owens, 6 tackles, 5 solo. Yeah, Darnell Savage, 4 tackles, 3 solo. Keyshawn Nixon, 4 tackles. Keyshawn roped in on 1 run play and shut it down in the backfield. It was absolutely awesome.
No, he was playing like a menace all day, man.
I guess it wasn't technically a tackle for loss according to the box score, but it must have been right around the line of scrimmage. But he roped in there. I was like, I immediately went, is that Jonathan Owens? And I seen it was Key. It was like, holy cow. Yep. Carrington Valentine had a pass deflection, obviously was the interception that he dropped. Carl Brooks, 2 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. So both of his tackles were tackles for a loss. He had a quarterback hit and a sack. Lucas Van Ness, 2 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 quarterback hit. You love to see it there. Jair Alexander had a pass deflection. He didn't get burned. He seemed like he played within the scheme tonight. Seemed like, it wasn't like shut down. I know at one point Romo said you'll probably see him traveling. I didn't see him travel one time all night. I think they stayed in the zone that they were in for the most part. Kingsley Enagbare, 2 tackles for a loss. Had a pretty good game there too. Kenny Clark, a sack, a tackle for a loss, quarterback hit. Rashawn Gary, tackle for a loss, had the pass deflection, had the crucial penalty, but the play before on 3rd down had that pass deflection. That was huge. I think if it wasn't for the penalty, he'd grade out pretty good. You're probably going to see him grade out in the 60s or 70s, I would imagine.
They got that one wrong though, Clay, right? I mean,
the left tackle
on their left tackle.
Tony Romo was exactly right on that one. It should have been a false start on the left tackle. There were several plays that got calls that got missed. Devontae Wyatt, 1 tackle. He also had a sack, a tackle for a loss, and a quarterback hit. So defense showed up big, man. Showed up absolutely huge. And again, they won the turnover battle, this is a wild stat. They won the turnover battle. They technically won the middle 8. However, we went on to score at the 9-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. So sometimes if you extend that middle 8 to, okay, let's finish this possession, then the Packers would have won 7-3. But technically, this is one of those 8% chances when a team wins the middle 8 and wins the turnover differential, but they still lose the game. And you're probably going, well, Clayton, how does that happen? It happens because your defense absolutely dominated them. We kept them out of the end zone the entire night. If it hadn't been for the muff punt last week, we would probably be sitting here saying we kept Minnesota to 3 points and we kept Chicago Bears out of the end zone. We would be saying 2 straight games with no touchdowns given up if we hadn't muffed that punt. Yep. So the defense has peaked. Whether you think it's good enough moving forward, hey, look, we can respect, we can agree to disagree. I'm still in the camp of we probably need to make the move and try to find somebody better than Barry. But you better give him credit where credit's due, man, because these last 2 games, you mix in, you say, oh, it's just the last 2 games. Well, what about Detroit? What about Kansas City? Right? What about some of these other games where they play lights out? Yeah, there's been some dog dookie games, absolutely, but I don't know, man. You're gonna this points per game, you're gonna see them creeping right back up in the top 10 most likely after these last 2 performances. But what stood out to you on defense, Tim? Anything you want to add to that, man?
Can we pull those back up real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun on it.
Because it just makes me think about what we talked about, because it's like we got the things that we needed from our guys. Like Enagbare, right? 2 for 2 tackles for loss, right? And what did we talk about all week with him? Over pursuit, not containing the edge, getting too deep on his rushes. What did we see today? Stayed home, played smart.
Played the run so well, Tim.
So well, right? So it's like, ask and you receive, even Jair, I'll be honest, early in the game, I was going, oh boy, here we go again with this. Jair's on his own thing. And then I kind of saw what was happening. And it looked like it wasn't just Jair, it was everybody. Everyone was moving around freely pre-snap, right? We were all communicating. Savage and Owens, you saw switching spots a few times. You saw Jair and Valentine switching, or Jair and Keyshawn switching sometimes. Everybody was in the know for the most part on a lot of these plays with communication pre-snap. And Jair went out there and played a game that was a little bit, less than I expected from him. But I thought he played well, and he wasn't a liability for us out there. He actually had a PBU there towards the end, which was, if he didn't run out of field, it's probably picked off. And I thought we got a good game from him. We talked about Preston Smith making an impact despite being banged up going into this game. And we knew we were going to get a heavier dose of LVN, who also responded well in the run game and with the pass rush, quite frankly. So, looking at this list, man, Savage, Keyshawn Nixon, two guys, probably their best games too this year. I don't know. We'll see how PFF looks, right? But Keyshawn had himself a game in the slot. It was like enough of this crap. I'm going to ball out today. That dude was on a mission. Yeah. And, it's just really refreshing to see that. Same thing with Drake Campbell playing through the constant nagging neck injury he's had for, the last 6-7 weeks here. Didn't look like a guy that was playing hurt at all. And Quay Walker, I think Quay got washed out on a couple. And then, of course, all you Barry haters want to talk about the DJ Moore play. I can't stand you negative-minded people. We got the biggest victory of our lives, and you're talking about one freaking snap with Quay Walker. It's like you don't understand what's going on.
You have no clue.
No clue.
I'm trying to be nice, but they have no freaking clue what the defensive call is. They have no clue. They don't watch any other games. They don't look at any other defense and go, hark, there are other linebackers being forced to cover wide receivers in these specific looks. They have no clue, Tim. And I know it's not
that play didn't cost us much, right?
Exactly.
We got a little chunk play for them, but not devastating, And it's why do they have to focus on that?
Exactly.
Look at the way this defense played, man. 3 freaking field goals.
Yeah.
If that defense gives up one touchdown in this game, we could be having a totally different conversation right now.
Yeah.
So
it's frustrating. We probably shouldn't give it any mental energy, but it is just, it drives me insane, man. And all you can do, the only way to combat it is just move on and ignore it and mute them.
Playoffs.
Yeah. I just have no interest whatsoever in having a conversation with someone that all they want to do is focus on the negative to fit their narrative rather than say, I might have been wrong. You know what I mean? I say it all the time. I'm wrong on this show all the time. When you have a microphone in front of you as much as I do, you're going to get a lot of stuff wrong. Be man enough to say, got it wrong. It's just, anyway, Godsmack AR69, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, it feels good to beat both the refs and the Bears. There was a couple times that I was pretty ticked off at the refs, Godsmack, but also I didn't feel like they had play a huge part in the game and the outcome. You know what I mean? I don't feel like
until the fourth quarter, boy. All of a sudden, here come the flags.
Yeah, it was
3 quarters of penalty-free football.
Bragged all game long about there being no penalties, and all of a sudden here they came raining in. Right, oh crap, we got to hit our quota. It's like a cop with a speeding ticket. Right? It's like, sorry, dude, it's just your turn. But Godsmack, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Drew D in the chat says, how about the number of sacks by the defense? Fields is not easy to bring down. I think we end up with 5 sacks. Just an overall great performance, man. Yep. And they continue to blitz a little bit. We've seen a lot of zone blitzing, which was kind of our game plan going in. When we looked at the analytics, we said, kind of feels like you should probably zone blitz a lot. I think you've seen that. You did see your portion of man coverage too.
Yep.
But
how about Kenny Clark on that stunt, man? Just
dude. I thought it was Carl Brooks that got the sack. I literally wrote Carl Brooks down, and then I had to cross it out. I'm like, well, where's Kenny? Oh, he's on the bottom of the pile. He got there quick. He got there real
nasty. Quick. Beat him nasty.
And I think that was a TT twist, wasn't it? It was a tackle stunt.
Yep.
So you love to see that. The other thing, too, that I wanted to point out, if I can find it. Oh, yeah, the Jaden Reed, the 32-yarder there in the second quarter, that big gain. They come out in doubles nasty. and then they quick motion to Nasty Nub and then hit him on the dig and did a little switch concept where they had, guess what they had? They had the post and they had the corner with him switching out on a wraparound dig.
Yeah.
Beautiful play call, man. LaFluer was in his bag. And you could tell the rookies, the younger players, they've gotten completely acclimated to this offense that he feels comfortable calling anything now. I thought for sure we'd hit on one of those deep corners, but when they bailed out, Reed running butt naked through the trailer park underneath, man. You love to see it. Love to see it. But, yeah, Drew, I agree with the defense, man. It's not easy to bring Fields down, and they came to play for sure. And, early on, I think it was the very first note I had on the page, Devontae Wyatt missed a sack on first down. Or he missed a sack, and it led to a first down. There was a couple that they actually missed on, and they still ended up with 5 sacks. That's what's wild. So you're starting to see this defense peak, and you're seeing them peak at the right time for sure. Tim Hurley, thank you, buddy, for the chat. He says Carl Brooks is going to be big. Carl Brooks, man, we've seen it all year long. We heard it coming out of training camp. Tim talked about it at training camp. Jacob is the president of the Carl Brooks fan club early on. And I remember people like Andy Herman and other folks that were at training camp constantly tweeting out, you always heard Matt LaFleur numerous times in training camp say, great play, Carl. He was always screaming Carl in a positive way. So he definitely turned heads in training camp. It's why it's important to keep up with training camp, too. It really is. Yep. Boz with the huge super chat. Boz, thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you.
Wow.
He said, I appreciate spending all season with y'all. Feels good to continue the journey next weekend. I'm trying not to grin. I'm grinning like a possum in a dumpster because we got at least one more week of football. I was sitting here as soon as the game kicked off, and I'm like, man, the season went so quick. Right. I hope it doesn't end tonight, but if it does, man, what a blessing of a season, just getting to know everybody and talk ball all year. But man, the fact that we get to wake up and watch football again next week, I'm going to try to pull that down here in a minute. I'm going to go to Twitter and see if I can find what the actual schedule looks like as it sits right now. Our side might already be determined, I would imagine. So we'll see where we're playing what day. But Boz, buddy, you've been a blessing all year, and we really, really appreciate you supporting the stream, man. You and United Bates and so many to mention. I mean, everybody in the super chat tonight. I didn't expect this when we launched this whole YouTube channel. But it's a testament to the Packer fans in general. Our goal is to keep drawing in the good Packer fans. And what I mean by good Packer fans, the non-toxic Packer fans, the Packer fans that actually want to talk about what's going on the field, not to fit their like Tim said, their toxicity on Twitter. Because there were people out there tonight that was they were already trying to paint the picture for Joe Barry lost us this game. And the defense just continued to play. And I just love that this show draws in those people that want to talk about what's actually happening on the field and talk about the Packers from a positive perspective. But again, Boz, thank you so much for the super chat, man. We really
thanks, Boz. You're the man. Been supporting all year, man. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I already forgot what I was going to go look up. What did I just say I was going to go look up, Tim?
You were going to look the oh God, I forgot to.
Yeah. See, we're already in the daddy sodas tonight. That's what happens, man. You get when week 18 wraps up and you make the playoffs, when everybody expects you to finish dead last, you get in the bottle a little bit. You know what I mean?
It had to be something defensively. I think we were looking at the.
Somebody help me out in the chat.
We were talking about Carl Brooks.
Look at them, man. They're on it, dude.
Oh, there it is.
Manoa in the chat said schedule. Gray Matter 06 said schedule. Love it. Appreciate you guys.
Schedule.
Yeah, the schedule. Say something smart, Tim. Anything else on your mind? I'm going to see if I can figure out what the schedule is.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's something smart. You're right, Clayton. Football continues for us Packer fans. We get another week, a blessing with a great victory today, and it's exciting, right? Playoff football, and a lot of people. Shout out to my buddy Tony included. Says, I don't care what happens now, man. I'm just so happy this team came together, got this win. Showed the whole world what we're about here. And I'm thinking to myself with excitement, hold on a minute. Any given Sunday or Saturday, depending on how the schedule shapes out here, there's no reason we got to be one and done, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, they're gonna, despite all of this stuff that we just saw tonight and the type of year that we had, nobody's gonna pick us to go on a run. So we have a chance, like you said this morning, Clayton. Let's go on the road and ruin someone else's season. Now we get to play spoiler and keep our dreams alive. And let me tell you, the youngest team in the league, No playoff experience for these guys. I don't know, man. I'm not a betting dude, but I wouldn't bet against the Packers. I'll tell you right now. And none of that other stuff means a hill of beans now because it's win or go home. It's playoff time. So anyone's capable of beating anyone any given Sunday. So I'm excited about the potential here for the Pack.
Definitely. Godsmack AR69, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says LVN now has 2 sacks against Fields. He also made a good short gain tackle on the running back. I noticed that too, man. Mandy was sitting here and she said, "Is that Van Ness? Is number 90 Van Ness?" She follows the Packers, obviously not quite as close as I do, but she was like, "My God, he tried to kill that boy." He looked like a polar bear on that dude's back. He also made a good short gain tackle on the running back, where he jumped on him and looked like Rey Mysterio. There it is. That's the one. All right. That's the one she was talking about. She was like, my God, he about killed him. Van Ness, I think, is going to be a great player. He's already – what's crazy is people like, oh, he's a first-round bust. He's already ahead of where Rashawn Gary was his rookie year. So keep that in mind. This youth movement is really accelerating the growth. Even if you didn't make the playoffs, even if you had a 6-win season, getting these guys all this playing time was going to be huge. It just so happens they're learning how to win as they go. But Godsmack, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Tom Spalding in the chat with the super chat. Thank you, Tom. Said, I love finding out what this team is capable of at the same time that the players themselves do. No ceilings in sight yet. It's so true. You know, I got hounded a few weeks ago because I made the comparison of the 1993 Green Bay Packers. Well, the 1992 Green Bay Packers, actually. In 92, that was the first year Favre took over as starter, you know, like after Don Mikowski had his horrible ankle injury. And they went on to win 9 games, and they missed the playoffs. The next year, they won 9 games. The next year, they won 9 games. And I was just kind of drawing this parallel that, hey, look, we're kind of on pace to win 9 games. And a Packer fan came in and said, if you think this team's winning 9 games, you're smoking crack, whatever. Here we are, right? We finished with 9 wins. I mean, am I smoking crack, Tim, or did we finish with 9 wins?
Sure did. You're not a smoker. We know that.
Bro, literally in every metric possible, and I'm not saying Jordan Love is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but all we've got is what we can compare him to. Every metric possible across the board, he's leading both Favre and Aaron to the best of my knowledge. Aaron's first year as a starter, they won 6 games, and he had Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Jermichael Finley, I'm pretty sure was there that year as well, and James Jones. We had the youngest receiving corps in the league, if I remember correctly, the youngest team in the league for sure. And you went out and won 3 more games than Aaron did. You threw more touchdown passes, more passing yards, albeit there was 1 extra game. I got you. But when you average touchdowns per game, I'm pretty sure Jordan still beats him in that regard too. That's not to put extra pressure on Jordan. That's not to suggest Jordan's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But the truth is the freaking truth. He's outperformed both Aaron and Brett Favre as first year as a starter. And it's absolutely wild that he led them to the playoffs the very first year. And oh, by the way, anybody who's got 2 football brain cells to rub together are comparing every throw to both Brett Favre, how he recoils backwards and avoids contact, and Aaron Rodgers with these changing the arm angles and the jump pass or the I don't even know what you call it, the spin cycle pass or whatever, where he's not even stepping into the throw. It's hard not to get excited, Tom. It really is. But thank you for the super chat, buddy. See, I've got a screenshot here. Bang, right there it is. This was from on Twitter at KC_LAZARUS. All right, so at KC_Lazarus, I think is who it is. I'm assuming this is correct. You guys fact check it for me here. Green Bay Packers will be coming into Dallas next weekend for the NFC wild card round. How about them Cowboys? Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, all that good stuff. So the rivalry continues. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong here, Tim, but didn't I got to look this up now. Who did the Packers play in 1993 when they went to the playoffs in the wild card round? I've got to know.
Detroit.
Was it Detroit? So it wasn't Dallas because
I thought it was Detroit.
Let me go look just to make sure. 1993 NFL playoffs. Because the reason I'm bringing that up is because, man, the parallels have just been crazy this year. 93, 94 playoffs. Now, I don't know exactly what the season was, but this is listed as the 1993-1994 playoffs they played in Dallas. Now, let's see. It might have been actually the 92. Yeah, they didn't go in 92, so that would have been it. 93-94 would have been Dallas, bro. That is wild. Is that correct? 93-94.
Not in the wild card.
Watch this. I'm going to show you right here, man. I'm
not in the wild card round.
It's the. I mean, they definitely didn't get a first round bye. So I'm going to show it to you right here. This is wild if these parallels continue to line up, man. With everything that's lined up, we've been comparing the Aaron Rodgers stats all year long. Check this out. This is listed as the 93-94 season. Look in the lower right. Isn't that wild? So are you saying that this wasn't the wild card round?
Detroit to get.
So they beat Detroit.
They played Detroit
in 93. Gotcha. So they beat Detroit in 93. That's wild. Good stuff. Yep. So that's
Brett Favors' first playoff game.
Was Detroit. That wasn't that the Sterling Sharp play where he threw all the way across his body back across the field to Sterling Sharp? Am I thinking right? I think that was it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anyway, and Sharp had him smoked. Woo! Yeah. What a route.
Tom, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Randy Cleavers just made a donation, $4.99. Appreciate you, Randy. Thank you for supporting the stream, man. Got a ton of people in here. I wish we could keep up with the chat, but man, we've had a herd in here all night. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything big here. Tim, what else you got?
Giving away that Bakhtiari jersey. We can't miss that.
Ooh, we got it keyed up too. Where's it at?
Let's
Let's
go.
do that right now, matter of fact. Who wants to win a David Bakhtiari jersey?
I do, but I'm not eligible.
I know Emilio's name is on here too, where he's a YouTube member. I'm like, bro, I can't give you that if you win it, man. I just can't do it. He's listening somewhere right now in New York going, what the heck, Clayton? All right, let's see. Let me get this queued up here real quick. Confirm you can see that, Tim. We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me get that.
Look at Eric Sutherland already.
What, Eric? They rigged already. There it is.
Yeah, look.
Told you, Eric. This is the safest, most secure giveaway in Packers history, okay? So just know that, all right? Because I told you, and so did the news. So here we go. We're going to spin it 3 times. Obviously, the first name that it draws is going to be the actual winner. If they don't come forward and claim the autographed David Bakhtiari jersey within the next few days, what we're going to do is spin it twice and then a third time. So we've got a backup winner. That's happened multiple times this year where people didn't come forward and know that they won the jerseys. So, again, we'll give you at least until like next Friday to claim it. But you ready to do this thing? Tim, you ready for the big spin, no whammy here? You ready?
Let's go.
All right, here we go, guys.
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy.
The winner of the autographed David Bakhtiari jersey is Beard Dawn. I think that's Jacob Burner. Don't that sound
that's
like
Jacob.
All right, Beard Dawn. If you're in the chat, speak up. You won the autographed David Bakhtiari jersey. Now, again, we're going to spin it a second and third time just to have backup winners in case Beard Don doesn't come forward. The reason we have this issue sometimes is because memberships get gifted to people who might be in the chat momentarily but never come back because our show sucks. So that's how that ends up happening. But again, let's spin it again for the second place winner. And the second place, if Beard Don doesn't come forward, is Dan Cott. So Dan Cott's the second place winner. Let's spin it one more time for the third place in case both of those two gentlemen don't come forward. And the third place winner is Romero.
Romero R.
Yeah, we've seen Romero in here a lot too, so surely he'll come forward and claim it. So there you go, guys. That's the winners of the David Bakhtiari jersey. Like I said, we're just giving one away. First place was Beard Don. If you're in the chat, speak up. If not, whenever you hear this, make sure you shoot me an email address. We'll cross-check and make sure that you are Beard Don and not trying to steal Beard Don's jersey. We got ways of double-checking that. Also, if he doesn't come forward, it's Dan Cott. And if he doesn't come forward, it's Romero R. are the winners. Look at this guy right here up here in New York jumping in here. Emilio, what's up, dude?
What's going on?
What do you think, man? You happy with that,
baby? Playoffs?
Fired up. Look at him. Ooh, house.
I love it.
Hold up a minute. Whose is that?
My dad and sister are Cowboys fans.
For real?
Oh man,
that is awesome.
Oh man,
that is awesome, dude.
It's
I
over.
love it.
For those of you on the pod, he's holding up a license plate that says House Divided Cowboys Packers. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. What'd you think of the game, Emilio? We're getting ready to wrap this big bear up. I guess you've been driving all day, haven't you?
Yeah, I was driving. We got after the game. It was, such a great ending. We were like, let's just pop open some of those Christmas presents we hadn't gotten around to yet. And it was just, it was just glorious. It was a really nice 4 hours, I'd say.
United Bates says Emilio coming in hot. Omer says, go ahead and hit that video one time for us, Clayton. I drove you crazy during the game with that, didn't I?
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it.
Every time something went good for the Packers, I would hit that video on Emilio while he was in the stream.
It is great. But, so hire Joe Barry. Defense rocks. No touchdowns given up, and Jordan Love is him, right? That's what we say. I just trying to cover all the bases here.
I'm laughing at Eric Sutherland. Eric Sutherland said Emilio has the prettiest lips on the YouTube. Look, here it comes. Doug says Emilio DeGuara. They're in.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. I don't know. I saw DeGuara in person, man. He looks like a brick house. When I was at that one game, man, he is built, dude. I need to start lifting if that's the case.
Go ahead, Emilio. What were you going to say, man? I'm sorry.
Just really happy with how young the team is and how they really came together. They're playing for each other. They're playing for, the history. They're playing for Green Bay. It's awesome that, we get to see it and unfolding. Youngest team ever to do it since they kept stats. So let's eat.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
John Walker in the chat says fire. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I love it.
Well, hire Joe Barry. Yeah.
We talked about it, and someone tagged me on Twitter. I can't remember who it was. They may be in the chat. If you all go ahead and speak up. Someone tagged me on Twitter and said I was one of those people that voted that I would rather them lose out and fire Joe Barry. But watching this game live as they were winning, he's like, I changed my mind. Like this is it's amazing how a little bit of success brings you around, right?
We literally said that. We said, why are we hating on the team that we root for? Why do we want them? Why are we begging for them to lose?
Yeah.
We just had to get through the first half of the season. Really, that was it. As long as we got past Clifford not going in, we were good. And we've let it ride ever since, man. I'm happy we did.
Yeah. Doug Pointer says in the chat, I have no idea who our best receiver is, ... It's a good problem to have, ain't it, Tim?
Yep.
Bro, who is it? Who would you say? I'm gonna hold y'all's feet to the fire, both of
them.
Okay.
All right.
Who is the best receiver on this Packers team right now? Who is the best receiver? Tim, you go
I'm not going to answer, so quit asking.
I'm not.
Run the Nick Saban clip. Just run it.
I'm not going
to. So quit asking.
So you're really not going to answer, Tim?
Well, if I got to say, if you're gonna, you're gonna force my hand.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed. Yeah. I can't disagree with it. I can't. What about you, Emilio? Who do you think it is, man? Who's the first person that comes to mind when you think of everything that's happened this year? Who's the best receiver on the roster?
Yeah, out of everything that's happened, I'm going to have to say Jaden Reed. But out of recently, I would put Bo Melton and Wick up there. Just because they got to keep the defense honest, man. It's like every time we look around, he somehow finds a little hole. Like, and Love's not afraid to feed it to him. And I love how, even though the touchdown didn't catch, I love how he just is like you saw that. We'll probably bring it up on Chalk Talk, but behind Love, when he threw that, there was 3 Bears defenders. He hummed that thing through.
Yep.
And it was this close to becoming a catch. So I think Bo Melton's a dog. And as of recently, I would say either him or Wicks. But I would say Jaden Reed for the year, then probably Bo Melton as of recently.
Got it. Yeah, for me. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tim.
No, but I just how like you said, how does the defense prepare for that when there's 4 or 5, just explosive guys?
It's a tough question, man. I can see how people would make the argument for Romeo Doubs with the big catches he's made, like last week, the big catch down the sideline on the whole shot, and then his the touchdown that gave him the lead early there or whatever it was.
Right.
He's made big time catches. For me, it comes down to Tay Wicks and Jaden Reed. And when you go strictly production, I got to go Jaden Reed too. I think he is wide receiver one. Now, does that mean you're going to split him out wide every play? And you know what I mean? You can. We've seen that's what's crazy is people forget they look at him like he's just a slot receiver. Some people do, not everyone. Right. But when you turn on the tape from college, I remember people in the training camp going, "Oh, he's going to be a great slot receiver." I'm going, "He's more than a slot, man. That dude played Z at Michigan State constantly, and he was stretching the field. He was the go-to guy. He can burn you on a post. He can burn you on a post corner. He can run the crosser through zone, away from man. He can play the slot if you need him to. He can run the chicanery there with the reverses and everything. He can line up in the backfield. I don't know about you guys, but I felt really comfortable with him returning kicks and punts too. Yeah. Like that punt when Tony Romo said, "If you're a Packer fan, you're saying just catch it." Did you guys hear him say that? I remember looking up and seeing 11 and going, "We're good."
Yeah.
We're good.
And he's smart too. Like even when he let that one bounce, and then the Bears touched it, and then Valentine touched it. Did you see him in the corner? He like threw his head down, like, dude, he touched on the one, like we are screwed. Yeah. Luckily, obviously, the Bear dude stepped on the line, but still. And what's exciting about the team also is they are so young that I don't think we're not going to see those records being broken for a while. Like I don't think another NFL team is going to pull the trigger like Goody and Murphy and all them did this year. I don't know when we're going to see some team that young ever again, really.
Yeah, for sure. Drew D in the chat says Reed, Wicks, Dobbs, Watson because of availability, Melton, Heath, and Torrey. I like that. I like that a lot. That constant rotation, Tim, man. And look at this, guys. Reed, 3 more years left on his deal after this year. Wicks, 3 more years left on his deal after this year. Dobbs, 2 more years left on his deal after this year. Watson, 2 years left on his deal after this year. Melton, I think, would be technically a free agent. You might be able to sign him to some kind of futures. I'm not sure. Heath, similar situation. Torrey, 2 more years left on his deal after this year. I mean, that's wild. One of the cheapest wide receiver rooms in the entire NFL, man. That's I can't argue with that lineup, Drew. I think that falls right into place, man. I think it really does. The thought of Dobbs on a number 3 corner, Tim,
right?
That fires me up, bro.
Yeah,
like, that's the true matchup, right? So,
keeping an eye on him, man. Hopefully, everything's okay.
Yeah, they said he was spitting up blood on the sideline, if I understood correctly. So,
really,
somebody in the chat, unless they're just spreading rumors. But
you said that for Reed.
No, for Dobbs.
Oh, okay. Did you see Reed pull up his jersey that one time, having the trainer check his side there?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, near the end of the game there. I mean, he went back. He still went in, but
he's had a chest issue half the season.
He's a dog, Tim. He's a dog, and he's in there playing, man. Last game of the season. Who cares?
Yeah. All of these guys are. You know, look at the heart of absolute champions on this team. I'm just going to say it. They all have the heart of a champion. These players,
true,
and it's really refreshing to see, man. I don't know who's the toughest. That'd be a fun one. Who's the toughest guy? I don't know. Musgrave, Kraft, Reed, Wicks.
You'd have to go by room.
Love, Aaron Jones. I mean, we go on and on.
Go by room and then do a round robin or a bracket or something to try to figure out who's the winner.
Yeah. I remember like it was yesterday when someone would come off an ACL surgery. It was you got to have 1 full year before you're back to normal. But Sean Gary's out there playing on it since week 4, week 5, whatever it was.
Yep,
it's just wild, man.
It is.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, man, after you tear an ACL like that, it feels so like I was off. I had to wear my brace for like 2 years. Like even after I tore it and like strengthened it back up and was playing on it, it still felt weird. You just don't trust it. But I remember you were talking about Bach and stuff. Maybe it just didn't stick. Maybe that first surgery just didn't take. Maybe his body just rejected it. And that's why he's just been trying to chase it down ever since. Sometimes they take that. Sometimes they don't take it. Like they'll take it from your patella tendon and then run that one through your knee. But sometimes they'll take it from like a pig tendon and run it across too. And it just doesn't take in your body. They probably didn't do that for Bach, but any of those kind of options.
Yeah. I mean, people don't take that stuff into consideration. They really don't. And how your body can just reject it. Your body is sensing there's something invasive here. Like this is not supposed to be here.
Right.
We need to get it out. That's why fluid attaches. That's why all these things happen. I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but any surgeon will tell you that very thing that look, sometimes it doesn't take. And the fact that Bach has battled back and that IG post, I don't know if you've seen us talking about that earlier. You probably did because you're on the road. Just absolutely awesome when you've seen that. I'm going to post it here right quick. Bang. This was on Bach's IG story or post or whatever earlier today. He said, good to be around the fellas again. Miss these moments. I'm grateful for the steps literally I've been able to take one day at a time. Let's take care of business today and punch our ticket to the playoffs. Our ticket to the playoffs.
He was on the sideline, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was back in town. So he's been nursing the knee injury and doing rehab somewhere else, and he was back with the team today. Look at Matt LaFluer, dude. How excited. Look at Elton.
You can see the smirk. Look at those smiles, man.
Look at Rudy. Yeah, Rudy. I love Rudy.
It's all love right there.
Yeah. You love to see it, man. Love it. So anyway, I'm excited to see what happens with Bach.
Very trending.
Imagine this offense with Bakhtiari 80% of what he has been, his career. What an improvement that would be. Doug in the chat says Joe Barry trending on X, Twitter right now, like 3,300 tweets. I hope.
I'll tell you who's staying off Twitter tonight. This guy.
Tim.
It's going to be. You're going to see hashtag HJB. Hire Joe Barry is what's going to start trending.
I'll see it all tomorrow morning because I'm not looking at it tonight. I can't. I can't with these Barry haters. I can't.
Oh, man. Romero in the chat says, Romero's in here. Romero, you won the jersey, bro.
Romero, congrats, man.
You're third, Romero.
Oh.
You're third. Sorry, let me get your hopes up. So if Beard Don doesn't come forward and Dan Cott doesn't come forward, Romero, you're the winner, bro.
Romero, send him that email right now, man. Get your name in there so you got you get your holding spot.
Yeah, for sure. Because I've been on the Woodford Reserve too, man. Anyway, Romero says in the chat, Packers odds of beating Dallas Cowboys
65%. 65%.
That's all Murphy's saying walking down the tunnel.
65%.
Hey, 829. Put Tony's up there, Clayton.
829. All right, let me get back to it here real quick. Omer in the chat said, time to give Barry a 3-year extension so we can watch Packer Nation lose their minds. I'm just big enough troll to want that. What'd you say, 829? Is that right?
829. Tony Avocado. No, Ace Vita.
Acevedo, right?
There it is.
Bro, you're a quarter Mexican. You don't know how to say Acevedo?
No, I just said avocado. I just saw.
Oh, man. It's over. Nope. Take it easy, DeGuara. It's over.
Oh, Tim put me on blast.
You lost your Mexican.
Boom, roasted.
Oh, Emilio.
Yeah, where is it? Hit me with it.
Put it on the ticker. 8:32 Eastern Time, January 7th, 2024. Our boy Emilio lost his Mexican card.
Damn.
Tony Acevedo in the chat says, please, dear baby Jesus, let the Packers beat the Cowgirls on behalf of America. Praying emoji, cheesehead emoji. Yeah.
And the church said amen.
Amen. It's going to be a tough one, boys. It's going to be a tough one. I don't even care. I don't care if we lose 60-0. I'm going to be sitting there grinning like a possum eating crap all night long, bro. Just because we made the playoffs and no one expected it. I love it. I absolutely love showing people up, man.
Victory Monday is going to be sweet tomorrow, boys.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be good morning, Lambeau. I don't know how I'm going to get up because I just told you why. But
yeah,
we'll make it happen. Yeah. Tony Acevedo in the chat said your Mexican card has been pulled.
Okay, because you guys practiced it before I got on here. I got you, Clay, and there's no way you rip that off like that.
I actually know Spanish pretty decent, or at least the pronunciation of Spanish.
Right.
Yeah. So it's funny. Me and Mandy, that's where we first met. We had Spanish class together.
Nice.
And her last name was Augusta Mamas Bailey. So I sat right behind her. That's actually how we met before we started, like a year before we started dating. And I'd always nudge her arm, like, let me copy off you, girl. Because she was a straight-A student. Yeah. I copied everything off. I mean, every single answer all year long. And I scored 2 points higher than her at the end of the year. It's because I hit on the Spanish teacher, bro. Miss Woods, bro, she was hideous. I hope nobody in her family is watching right now. I apologize if that's the case. But I'm telling you right now, Mandy was like, he copied everything. I'm like, I earned that grade way more than you did. Trust me. Because, boy, I was selling it. Whew. But, yeah, Acevedo, man.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce half of the English language, but I got Spanish pronunciation pretty good. That's a good point. Paul Robertson getting us back on track here. I was trying to think, Paul, like what other coaches would win it over Matt LaFleur? You're 100% spot on. Paul Robertson in the chat says D'Amico Ryan's getting coach of the year. He's got to, man. Yeah.
What
he's done with Houston, it's like raising Lazarus from the dead, bro. It's unbelievable. Yep.
We always talk about that. You don't see teams turn around like that in a year.
Mm-hmm. You don't.
Really don't. And we just did. So, yeah, you got to tip your cap to D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah. Dylan in the chat says, "Go Pack Go" from OKC. Going to be heading down to Dallas for this game. What a season we are spoiled. We sure are, Dylan. Safe travels going down there, man, representing the G down there in Dallas. I need to get to Dallas sometime. There's a lot of stuff I want to see in Dallas. I want to see Dealey Plaza. I'd love to see the Cowboys Stadium and the Star. I'm kind of a closet Jerry Jones fan. I know that's going to make people throw up on their, whatever, their podcasting machine, their phone, their keyboard, whatever right now. But I just like what he's done, man. And someone who's that passionate about owning a football team, he could be doing anything in the world, being the gazillionaire he is. I just love that he's so passionate about pro football. But I would love to go to Dallas for sure. But enjoy that trip down, man. Safe travels for sure, and get loud for us down there. They say that stadium is absolutely huge, man. It is huge. But look at this. We got people from all over the place. Chad in the chat said it's already Monday here in Australia.
It's already
Monday. Let's get it. Top of the morning. No, that's ours. What do we say down there in Australia in the land down under? Let's put another shrimp on the barbet. Is that what they say? Is that right, Tim?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're quarter Australian, aren't you? No. All right. Just check.
Quarter Australian.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
All right. Let's get out of here, guys. We're just wasting time now. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to say goodbye. We got 126 people in here. I don't know what they're doing. They must have fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I know this. If anybody asks Jordan Love who he is tomorrow, he needs to respond like this.
Who do you think you are? I am.
What's his name again, Tim?
Oh, that's Pete Weber, man.
The Pete Weber, right?
The Pete Weber, PBA legend.
There you go. You're welcome, folks. All right. Parting thoughts. Tim, what else you got for me, buddy?
Go Pack Go. The Bears still suck. We called it. I told you. I can't wait. Victory Monday. Tune in the morning. We'll be all hopped up on that
Mountain Deer. That Mountain Deer.
Mountain Deer.
The Bears still suck.
Nice.
There you go.
Bears still suck.
What you called for it? Let's hit it.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
Cheerleader Mountain Deer.
Aaron Atkins too. Love it. I didn't even notice that.
We got the request coming in now, boys. It's off the rails. Omer said, I got to hear that John Deere Green.
Here we go.
Let's hit it one time.
John Deere Green on a hot summer night. Hero Billy Bob loves Charlene.
Love to see it. All right. Emilio, final thoughts, buddy. I appreciate you jumping on, man. You drove all day and jumping on here with us.
I got on late. I second everything Tim said. Bears still suck. Go Pack Go. Victory Monday, green and gold. And they say that sometimes we are America's team. So I don't know. We're going to show up this next weekend here and battle for America's team. I'm cool with that. And if we make it to the divisional, hey, I'll take it.
Anything's possible, man.
I'll take it.
Drew D said, I thought he said T-liter for so long. It does sound like T-liter of Mountain Dew.
T-liter.
It is T-liter of Mountain Dew. That's it. We got it. We finally got to it. The number one Packer fan trying to kick me off my own podcast. He said, real simple, Roadhouse Clay for liking Jerry Jones.
Roadhouse.
Oh, Tim, this is going to get you fired up. Doug said, Chris, you a bowler too? I got a story about PDW back in the, quote, wild days.
Uh-oh.
PDW, who was that?
They got
All right, Pete Weber.
They got a little bowling chat going on in the chat here on the side.
Bunch of out-of-shape white men in here is what it is.
Yeah, leave them alone on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are league nights.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering why the numbers dip on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
That's it. We got a big bowling crowd in here for sure. All right, we're out of here, guys. I can't thank y'all enough for hanging out with us, man. We got a bunch of shout-outs to give real quick. Josh Martin for the super chat. Joy, thank you for gifting 50 more Totals Access memberships. Appreciate that. Chris Bohinline, I think is how you say it. In here, appreciate you, buddy. We got several of them marked. Just had awesome comments. Ryan Jennings, thank you for the super chat. Packer Up, Super Chat. Mock Hebring, Super Chat. Gray Matter, become a new member of the PTA Posse. Packer Up, another Super Chat. SETI, Destiny Jenkins, Godsmack AR69, Ryan Jennings. Jacob pronounced this one earlier. I want to hear Emilio's quarter Mexican pronounce that. What is that name right there? Quarter Mexican.
Sashnev?
He got it. I'll be damned. Unbelievable. Can't even speak Spanish, but he's over speaking whatever that is, Russian or something. What is that?
Yeah,
What that
right.
anyway? Russian is probably the farthest thing from it. But anyway, thank you for gifting the memberships there. Say it one more time, Emilio.
No, I messed
Oh,
it up.
see, now you screwed it up.
I had it there for a second. I lost it now.
All right. United Bates, thank you for the super chat. Jordan Taylor, Josh Martin, Godsmack AR69, Godsmack AR69 again, and a third time. Boz with a huge super chat. Thank you, buddy. Tom Spalding, Randy Cleavers. You guys are absolutely awesome, guys and gals. Thank y'all so much for supporting the stream. Y'all made this season so much fun, and I'm excited about doing it at least one more week, fellas, at least one more week. So we're out of here. We'll see you guys in the morning for Good Morning Lambeau. Looking forward to that conversation. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world and go back up.
The power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense. Yes, our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.